Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Kodeations, and in today's video we're gonna be diving back into some Cookie Run Kingdom, and we're gonna give you guys a breakdown on the brand new cookie Red Velvet. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Diving right in, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing we're gonna be doing, like as we always do with our spotlight videos, is gonna be giving you guys an overview. All right, so Red Velvet Cookie is gonna be of the epic category, as you can see. Not only that, he's gonna be a charge cookie, and then he's gonna be placed in the front row of whatever team you are building. All right, so it's gonna be in direct competition with something like Dark Choco just for its placement, but don't get them confused. All right, they are two completely different cookies, and they are used for two completely different things. All right, don't worry about it. You're not going to be replacing your Dark Choco for a Red Velvet and vice versa. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at his overall skill. All right, we've got Crimson Hand, face the might of the cakes. The cookie grasps the rearmost enemy, brings it to the front of the cookie squad, dealing great damage and stunning them for a short time, and then the skill cannot be interrupted. All right, and then we've got a couple things here in gray. Single hit damage is a certain percentage, and then it also says stun is for a total of 5 seconds. Now that is absolutely ridiculous. We got a 5-second stun. It cannot be interrupted, so bye-bye Lily or Latte, you know, anybody using those comps trying to get this skill from not happening. It can't be interrupted once the skill is popped off, so keep that in mind. However, it's on a 20-second cooldown. Man, that is tough. That is tough. All right, 20-second cooldown, ridiculously long in order for him to use the ability again. But hey, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of broken. All right, it's kind of broken. Yeah, so the 20-second cooldown is just absolutely horrendous at base value. All right, but nevertheless, when you jump in here and take a look at some toppings, you can get his cooldown a lot lower, which then does allow you to utilize Red Velvet Cookie on a variety of different team comps, you know, pertaining to whichever content you're trying to cover. All right, so for the first set of toppings that we have here, and probably in my opinion the best set to run on Red Velvet, just because he has a 20-second cooldown, is going to be the Swift Chocolate set. All right, clearly you want to run a full set of Swift Chocolate, not only to get that set bonus, but also take advantage of as much cooldown reduction as possible. But anyways, so some of the substats that you are going to look for are going to be your cooldown reduction. So as you can see, this one here, we got additional cooldown reduction, and then also your damage resistance, because he is a charge cookie and on the front line. Any additional damage resistance or defense that you can give him, which will help him mitigate and take less damage, is only going to benefit him. And then last but not least, that attack percent, right? So if you can happen to get that attack as well down here, this is a pretty nice one. We've got attack, damage resistance, and also defense on top of the cooldown topping. All right, so again, really nice substats to take advantage of. If you are looking for some additional ones, or you happen to get some additional ones, like I said, flat defense, or the percentage defense, is not going to be the worst one that you could possibly get. So definitely don't feel bad about that. But Swift Chocolate, again, you're just basically reducing the cooldown on his skill, so then you can use that grasp ability, you know, more often. All right, so again, really nice one. Another set that I think is a very good contender in my opinion, obviously would be those Searing Raspberries, right? The Searing Raspberries, again, would be a really good contender. Now, the Searing Raspberries, between the two different sets, the Searing Raspberries is all focused on getting that first one off, that first snipe. So it really works well in the arena, right? If you are trying to build a team comp, we'll show you here in a second what I mean, but if you're trying to build an arena comp that can just single target that healer or the other enemy's vampire that you know is going to be their bread and butter for their damage dealer, getting that ability off right off the bat, sniping that healer or sniping that vampire to just kill them, remove them from the match to give you that leg up, is going to be really nice. And running him on a full attack build will allow you to do that, because if you run Searing Raspberries and you specifically target the cooldown substats, it can easily be a top tier contender when it comes to the best topping set to run. All right, so again, don't sleep on either of those two sets for your Red Velvet Cookie. I'm personally running him on a Swift Chocolate set because I already have them leveled up to level 12, and I got his cooldown pretty much down to like 10 seconds, which is really nice. And not only that, he's got decent attack. All right, so it's not the end of the world. It's only 8,000. Remember though, he is a charge cookie and a frontline cookie. All right, he's not meant to be a massive damage dealer. I'm pretty much utilizing him for his ability as often as possible to snake whoever is in the back, to stun them for a while for 5 seconds, to hopefully kill them in that 5 seconds, and then just continue on without my day. All right, so that's gonna be pretty much it for the summary of Red Velvet Cookie. Let's jump into some gameplay and show you where he really shines. Alrighty, now jumping into some world exploration here, I want to give you guys a breakdown not only on his skill but also on his basic attack. All right, so the first thing we're going to be taking a look at is his basic attack here in a second. This is a recorded video, obviously, because it makes it just a little bit easier for me to show you guys what I mean. But all right, so as you can see here on screen, there are 4 individual enemies, right? We've got the 4 little guys right here. We've got the 1, 2, 3, and then the 4, right? You can see that with the faces. Now, on his basic attack, he only does AoE damage to 3 individual units, all right? So all 4 of them do not get hit. So here we go. So you can see hits the 3, the 1 in the center in the back here is not getting hit, but no big deal. You can see that was just his first skill. He went ahead and popped off the skill. We do have it on auto currently. I will turn it off auto here once we get to the librarian to show you exactly where I think his skill comes in handy when it comes to something like the world exploration. All right, so we're coming up to the librarian here. Now, one thing that you want to keep in mind is that we're looking for the librarian to pop off the white bar. That white bar is somewhat of a caster bar, and then when it basically completes, it will then pop off that AoE ability that pretty much kills your entire team. Now, this is going to be where Red Velvet really comes into play on specific stages in the world exploration. However, I do think that, like I said before, he's going to really shine in the arena. We'll show you that in a second. So let's see if I can actually time this just right. There it is. All right, so you can see the white bar. You see, once this white bar completes, that's when he would normally pop off his overall AoE ability. But as you can see here, I went ahead and utilized Red Velvet's skill right at the right time, which is then going to interrupt the librarian from utilizing the skill, pull the librarian to the front, stun the librarian, and then we pretty much just obliterate him at that point, and then it's just, you know, cleaning up the rest of the enemies in order to beat the stage. All right, so let's go ahead and play it. Boom, there is the Kate grabs him. He is stunned. He's got only a little bit of health left to go. He did come back, which is not the end of the world because he doesn't have his skill ready. So we're going to go ahead, hit him again a second time. Boom, bada bing, it's done and over with. Now, if I was currently running the attack set, I probably could have went ahead and sniped him immediately and killed him on that stun. But, you know, it is what it is. I was running Swift Chocolates for this video for you guys. But anyways, like I said, those are going to be the 2 options when it comes to toppings, and that's going to be how you can utilize Red Velvet in the world exploration. Alrighty, so for this next one, we're going to be diving into the arena where I personally think Red Velvet is really going to shine. All right, and this is going to be where I think the meta overall is going to shift when it comes to utilizing Red Velvet, because like I said, you can utilize specific things to snipe out the enemy's healer or their support, in this case, you know, pomegranate or herb, also pure vanilla, and then like I said, things like vampire if they are utilizing vampire for their main damage dealer. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. I did drop the speed down to 1%. That way you can go ahead and really see his skill come in, and we can also pause it to break down what is going on. All right, so here we go. So we're going to go ahead and get the first skill off. You're going to see we've got 2 seconds on his skill, and boom. All right, so we went ahead and popped it. You're going to see it's going to grab herb. You'll watch my little arrow here. I'm going to basically do play by play, but he's going to grab herb, pull him to the front, stun him. However, herb does survive, so maybe this is where searing raspberries for arena really comes into play over top of something like this with chocolates, or maybe I just need to focus more on getting attack substats on my Swift Chocolates to make them that much better. All right, so let's go ahead and watch it in action. So as you can see here, he's going to grab herb, pulls herb to the front, does a pretty good amount of damage. Again, not the best, but does a good amount of damage here, and then it's going to stun herb from getting his healing off right there. As you can see, pretty much our espresso's doing all of the damage here for this fight, but there you go. He did get off some healing, which is not going to be the worst case scenario because it's going to die here in a second. We'll do a second ability, gonna pull the black raisin because he was in the back. Again, pop off the additional damage, and then we're just going to rinse and repeat. All right, so that's going to be pretty much what's happening here. Pure vanilla is keeping us alive, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to pull crepe here in a second. Boom, just like that, crepe is done, and then we pretty much just, you know, clean house with our espresso. So that's going to be a good example of how to use them in the arena. You know, in my personal opinion, like I said, I probably don't have the best substats. I'm not a big, you know, mid-maxer when it comes to leveling up cookies and grinding out cookies, but at the end of the day, you guys get a better better understanding of what Red Velvet is and how good he can be. In my personal opinion, to wrap up the video with my conclusion, I personally really like him, right? It's not only because of his skill and how he performs in game, as it is so much the looks. I really like his butter knife. I really like his cake claw hand that he's got. And like overall, I think he does have a lot of use in the arena for a snipe team comp. In the world exploration, something like 725 definitely is going to allow you to utilize his stun ability, but overall, he's not going to be really good in much content, in my opinion, over something like Dark Choco. I think Dark Choco, obviously 100% still with that defense break, is going to be the best to use, and not only that, he does really good AoE damage at long range, alright? So that's going to be it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Drop your comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, and as always, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notification every time you drop a video, and I will see you guys in the next one.